This is the Dummy Plug Book Club introduction, and I don't have a song this week. Series of months. I don't even remember the last time we did this. It's the Dummy Plug Dummy Plug Book Club.
Yeah!
It's impossible to say, everyone. Okay.
Dummy Plug Book Club.
Dummy Pug Book.
Dummy Pug.
Dummy Pug.
Point taken.
Congratulations, Kamal. You're botching faster than Sin Cara can.
I don't know why you guys let me do this.
I don't know.
I think it was just the first one I was like,
Dummy
Plug Book Club, and you're like, okay. And now we're at 9, and I'm out of songs.
Okay.
Hi, audience.
Hello.
All right. So we are at Volume 9.
Yes, we have made it to the Volume 9. Now, to be fair, it's something I probably should have said a long time ago when I did this whole setting the scene for when these were coming out is we didn't start getting the Eva manga in the United States until 2004, even though it had been going in Japan since before the show started in 95.
Question, was that like right around the time that Rebuild 1 was released?
Oh, that's a good question. I do not... Hold on.
Because I don't actually remember when Rebuild 1 was released.
That's what I was about...
2004 sound... maybe 2007, I think, actually.
Yeah.
It was 2007.
Okay, so like not too long before. Okay.
Yeah. So, Volume 9 came out in Japan in April of 2004. So it had been about almost a year and a half since Volume 8. So, yeah. Yeah, it's almost 10 years later, and we're now here at this point. Oi. Thanks, Sadamoto.
It's fine. He's doing fine. He's doing his best.
It's fine. It's okay. He's trying. Okay. Well, I guess let's get into this, then.
And what do we begin with?
Asuka! Woohoo!
Oh no, Asuka in the past. Oh boy. Yeah, this isn't ending well.
This is just the densest exposition. Just,
Slap you right across the face with that exposition. Give it to me. Oh yeah. But for real.
Yeah. And then when she's talking to herself, like, on one hand you're like, no, don't say that. On the other hand, it's like, I mean, you're right. Like, she only ever beat one of them by herself. If that was her goal, she's not really doing what she wanted.
No, she's not.
Well, there's that, and I feel like, because, like, the big thing with Asuka is she wants to do everything on her own, you know, and she's been, I mean, imagine this, you've been, like, training on something for, like, years and years and years, and you were the best in your country, and you expect it's going to stay that way, and it's the only thing keeping you feeling good about yourself because you basically hate yourself and feel worthless otherwise and have abandonment issues. And then you go to Japan and, like, some asshole who doesn't even, like, really talk to you much is, like, better than you and always has to go and, like, be the hero when you want to do it to prove your worth. It sucks.
It's not even want to be the hero. It's, I've been told my entire life that I am the best, therefore I am the best.
No, I meant Shinji's being a hero.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying, like, her seeing Shinji be the hero and trying to reconcile that with this notion that she's had in her head her entire life because other people have told her that she's the best. And then a little bit more Asuka. Starting to fail the tests. This is just the end of Asuka. This is the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
We loved you. You'll be missed. Rest in shit.
I really like this shot of them rebuilding Unit 2 underwater.
Yeah!
Like, that's just so cool. It's like, it reminds me of, like, in various sci-fi when they, like, build an enormous spaceship in outer space. Like, they have to finish building it out there because, like, they don't have to deal with the gravity or anything. And it's, like, sort of the same thing. Like, they don't have to use, like, cranes or anything. They can just let it flow through the water.
That's true. Also, I want to point out, like, kind of like a design flaw here. Why is its entire head off, and it's, like, still, like, presumably able to be alive if they're living creatures? Like, I just want to, like, ask that real fast. Just kind of pointing that out. It'd probably be pretty dead by now, unless its brain is not in its head. Kamal, explain. Help.
I'm not a biologist.
Science person, help.
Of all the shit that Ava has ever done to bend science, this might be the one where it literally has no basis in reality.
It's
And
fine.
that's saying
It's
a lot,
fine.
given Ava.
It's not fine, Kamal. It's not okay.
Like, that doesn't seem possible.
I just, like, thought that was, like, a big point, that they're alive, and yet its, like, head is off, and it's...
How is that?
And, like, they replaced its arms.
Like, I
But
can understand
but there's a
replacing
difference,
the
because
arms.
the head is a brain. If your brain
Yeah,
is detached and your brain dies, you're fucked.
And the basic skeletal structure of the Avas is similar to humans, isn't it?
Yeah.
So wouldn't their composition of other organs and tissue and shit like that be close to humans too?
The only thing I can say is that I think we're thinking about it more than Sadamoto did.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, the same thing happens in the rebuilds, too.
You're
Alright,
right.
this is bullshit.
Like,
I'm
it's that
boycotting
same
Ava.
fight.
No, he's right. It does.
This is crap.
Wow, that's interesting.
I'm a burp. Ugh. Okay.
Ah!
So Shinji's all depressed.
And Shinji's also a delinquent.
Actually, this is, like, super duper interesting, because you know how in Japan, like, okay, so mental health in Japan, as I think a lot of anime fans know, and if our lovely audience doesn't know, I'll go ahead and explain. So, here in the United States, we have a lot of healthcare, and, like, it's not like you can take a lot of time off, but it's acceptable enough to take time off from, like, school or work and, like, get better and go to a hospital and, like, blah, 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 and, like, see therapy. But in Japan, if you have a mental illness and you try to go, like, take care of it, what's that background noise?
Sorry, it's an air compressor.
Well, the air compressor needs to stop.
It will in a minute or so.
Sorry, it's just, like, super distracting. What was I saying? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In Japan, mental illness is... It's like if you have a mental illness and you show symptoms, you're called selfish. You're like not... I don't want to say looked down on because I'm not Japanese, so like can't bring the proper words to describe it, but it's not like, okay, you can go get help, like you'll go to therapy, like you'll talk about it. It's maybe shameful is the right word.
You're shunned?
No, it's basically a lot like, you know, if you have a mental illness, suck it up. Like, too bad for you. And it's really interesting for Misato to be having, like, open dialogue with Shinji about mental illness, and it's also, like, interesting for Misato, I feel like, and very reflective of, like, Japanese attitudes to be like, okay, well, you're sad, and I know you're piloting an Ava, and that sucks, but go to school, because stop. Stop being sad, Shinji. Like, I don't know. Interesting shit. I thought that was cool. Culturally. What makes that conversation. And I really like that, you know, you're not the only one in pain. We both have to face up to our jobs. You know, just kind of like, I don't know. I guess it kind of goes to show, like, Shinji's going through stuff, and then Shinji's making excuses, and,
Does Shinji keep losing sight of the fact that, like, he's not the only one who has to deal with emotional pain at times?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I understand.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I understand that he has his problems, and I feel bad for him, but he just, considering who he's around, I don't understand how he loses sight of that so easily at times.
I mean, I think that's one of his major character flaws. Like,
yeah.
He's ultimately selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing to when you get into, like, that sweet discourse about Ava characters. I love how people spend so much time trying to shit on Asuka or psychoanalyzing Rei, but, like, no one, like, ever stops and is like, Shinji's fucking selfish. Like, Shinji's passive-aggressive, he's selfish, not just selfish, but he's self-centered, and he doesn't, like, look outside his own feelings or his own perspective. Like, no one ever wants to sit there and talk about it, but everyone wants to talk about, like, all the other characters and everything they do wrong. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway. I think it's funny that the word he uses is awkward. Oh yeah, it's kind of like awkward that I killed Toji. Like, oops, like, okay, that's the word.
I don't know if he's referring to killing Toji as awkward. I think he means like interacting with like.
Yeah, I would
like
say.
like going back to school.
Yeah.
I would really hope him killing his best friend is like not awkward, and that's all it is, because that'd be like a slap in the face.
Yeah. Hey, so, like, I kind of killed your future boyfriend and your best friend, and, like, we all hung out and stuff, and, like, I murdered him, so, like, oops, guys, what's up?
Oops, sorry, brah.
Really, really, kind of cool comparison, cinematically, to the Eva holding the plug in its hand, and then Shinji holding the kitten.
Huh. I didn't think about that.
That's what I'm here for. To point out dumb shit like that. I really love
and
I really
ultimately,
love
the other living being that the Eva holds in its hands, and then does something to its neck, who just shows up right here.
Oh.
Do we want to just
this
you know
2-page spread? Hold on, I gotta like.
I was gonna say, should we just point out the fact that Kaoru like gets introduced with a goddamn piano?
I think this is, like, I think 3 was playing off of this. Like, 3.3 was, like, bringing back the piano.
Well, and I think Draft Kaoru in the original anime also, like, had something, like, with playing piano or something. I don't know. I just think, also, as a musician, piano is a really interesting instrument because you can hide behind the safety of the instrument, hide your face, hide your hands, basically be pretty secure while still having extreme expressive dynamicism. And I think there's something to be said about Kaoru and because I used to think Kaoru was, like, more innocent, but, like, I'm now more leaning on the side of Kaoru was really manipulative and, like, maybe not necessarily knew what he was doing, but he knew what he was doing. Like, he just didn't understand the full breadth and consequence and implication of what he was doing, but he knew what he was doing. And I think him hiding behind the instrument, which letting the instrument or the proxy say things for him, where himself is hidden behind this. I don't know. I think what that displays about his character is interesting. Also, the fact that the piano is the only thing untouched in, like, this broken-ass church is, like, really funny. Like, okay.
Thank you for pointing out that that's a church, because I just think that's extremely...
I mean, hello, it's Ava.
I know, but it just seems like, of all places, sure, why not a church? Why not?
Because it's Ava.
What? We don't have enough for religious symbolism? Cram more in there!
He's in a church, and there's a cross on the floor.
And he's playing a piano. Yes! I love it!
There is a cross on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I like how it was drawn. This is one of the more detailed pages, and I really like when artists do, like, a lot of detail. So, I'm sitting here appreciating this. It's pretty. Good job. Kaoru's hair looks really bad. He looks like a Clanad character or something. Just gonna put that out there. Those hands look really nice. Some nice hands. I really appreciate some good hands. No, I'm not talking about the cat yet. I'm still looking at him playing the piano and, like, Shinji's face with all the shading. Like, he just, like... I can't decide what that face is, because on the one hand, the half of it looks like, oh, like, he's so beautiful, and the other half of it is like, what is this asshole doing here?
I'm sorry, I look at that face and all I think is,
Well, also, Kaoru has, like, white-ass fucking hair, like, boy.
Yes. Like, he really is a white boy.
Oh! That was good.
Thank you. Also, Shinji, he says it's the ode to joy, and Shinji's thinking, who? What about what? Like, who? What?
I'm gonna smack him. Who's Ode to Joy? My fist in your face is Ode to Joy.
And then
How do you? Okay, to be
like,
fair,
really?
I wonder if music would still be like, especially Western music would still be a thing that's like taught, especially post Impact.
Well,
I don't know.
I
I love the concept of dystopias and post-apocalyptic worlds where they don't teach stuff that we normally assume should be known. Like everyone fucking knows that the Ode to Joy is by Beethoven because we learn it in school. I wonder like what kind of information would be lost or tossed aside and considered insignificant after the rebuilding of the world.
You ever watch Death and Rebirth?
No. Okay.
First of
Correction.
all, good.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I know they're all like playing a string quartet. So.
Whenever someone gets introduced, they basically are doing classic music.
Yeah, they're tuning their instruments, aren't they?
Yes, and like one of them is Pachelbel's Canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like
I know they have Verdi's Dies Irae in there, which is like hell fucking yeah, like fuck yeah.
Yes.
One out of like 3 really phenomenal requiems.
I hate to say this, but like a few pieces of classical music, it's like I only think of them in association with Ava because of their usage.
I mean, at least you've heard them and know them and can name them.
Yep.
Anyway, so let's get back to Kamal really wants to talk about Kaoru strangling a cat. Because Kamal likes to kill kittens. Kamal is an animal killer. So let's let him talk about...
Before we talk about the cat, I'd noticed something weird.
What?
So, like, this song, do you know it? Huh? I heard it walking through town. Like, Kaoru just, like, heard a song. I was like, I'm gonna crank that out. I don't know.
Yep.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see him if he had heard, like, you know, gangster rap and then just decided to sit at a piano. Like,
I would have loved to hear him play some Chopin. Like, oh, I just kind of heard this and like I repeated it because I'm like so good. No, but
I'm like so good at playing the piano. You can't believe it.
No, I think it's like really reflective of like Kaoru, how he like just like I don't know. It's interesting how he learns and listens and processes. And music is always like a really weird thing for like people. Not like weird, I guess, but really close to people. There's just like, I don't know, a lot of musical prodigies are just like really strange people, so.
I suppose the Ode to Joy is pretty straightforward, too.
Yeah, true.
A little, yeah. It would be easy enough to dictate.
Yeah, I like, you could pretty easily like, okay, here's the first note, and then I go down a bit. Alright, so that's the second one, and then just sort of like, oh, okay, it's just this.
Yeah. But no, that was a really interesting point that he just kind of like heard it and like played it. Well, okay, maybe that has nothing to do with it because he knows that it's Ode to Joy. Like he can name it.
I think that was it's sort of weird because the bubbles don't like connect over here, but I think it's Shinji saying it's the Ode to Joy. Because then Kaoru's like, really? Like,
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, anyway, really nice and clarity. I really think it's interesting how, like, we go ahead and show, like, there's another, like, demonstration that Shinji just hasn't changed as a person, because his big thing is that he always just does whatever people tell him, and he's sitting there, like, holding a cat, having a nice time, and Kaoru's like, oh, put it down, stupid, and he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, why are you holding a cat? Because I can.
I think that's just, like, really sad. Like, Shinji's like, stop following me, I can't take care of you. Like, I'm useless. I can't take care of anyone. I can't take care of you, just like I can't take care of my friends. What's up, everyone?
Well, ouch. I never thought about that. Wow, that's depressing.
I love causing people pain.
That is depressing. It's like, well, damn, Shinji.
I kind of like the expression on the cat's face when Kaoru goes to pick it up.
Oh, it's like so happy. It's like, oh yeah, gonna get some of that sweet affection. And then it dies. This whole thing is like fucked up. And I like understand. I mean, everyone likes to talk about the scene because it's like kind of a big deal. But like, I keep saying like, I understand why, like, the logic is just so there, but at the same time, there's so many other things you could have done. And, like, I know that this is a whole thing about, oh, here's Kaoru's exposition, like, here's how he thinks as a person, like, he's very practical and straightforward, the end justifies the means, blah, 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 but... And I think specifically for Shinji, it's like, I mean, he just strangled his friend. Like, he basically killed his friend the same way in the dummy plug. Another interesting, going back to the whole foreshadowing with that specific shot of Unit 1 squishing the plug, we have Kaoru doing the exact same thing.
And I think it seems like the fact that Kaoru can justify it so quickly, Shinji almost admires that, like, it helps him justify what happened to him, like, what he did in the plug.
I sort of disagree, because I feel like this is where because Shinji, spoiler alert, Shinji grows to really hate Kaoru. And I think this is the first thing that happens that starts convincing him, because here he is struggling with how do you kill something, like, how is that okay? And he watches someone callously kill another life and be fine. Like, that's probably disturbing to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably incredibly
he was in the same position several months ago and has been struggling with the fact that, like, how do I justify the fact that I did this? And then Kaoru does basically the same thing. It's like, oh, okay. And Shinji's afraid of the fact that he could do that, but I think also admired it. And I don't know, maybe he's...
I don't know. Agree to disagree on that one, I guess, but... But anyway, Kaoru's a freak.
Also, someone expecting Shinji to know who that is, or know anything, like... No, Kaoru, Shinji doesn't know anything.
I'm the fifth child, Shinji Ikari. Haven't you heard of me? Like, what kind of celebrity-ass...
Don't you know who I am?
Okay, so they're at school, he's absent. Oh, Hikari doesn't know anything, that's sad.
Yeah.
And then we have Kensuke, sitting there.
The look of horror on Shinji's face when he sees Hikari and Kensuke.
Bye. I love how he runs away.
Well, he is good at it.
He loves to run away from his problems.
You know, you'd think with Shinji, like, running away so often, you'd think he should be on, like, the track team or something.
We're full of jokes tonight.
Yeah, I really am. What the hell is wrong with me?
All right,
I love the expression.
Sorry, I'm backing up a couple pages.
No, go ahead.
It said, I've never seen him before. Huh, it looks like they're arguing. I wonder what they're arguing about.
Wait.
Shinji's probably like, go home, I don't want you to come home with me, and Kaoru's like, I'm not joking myself.
Maybe they're just talking, and Shinji's always unhappy. And that's what it is. Or Kaoru's probably doing or saying something stupid.
He's probably like, you want to go play some piano? She's just like, no!
I mean, in all reality, like, everyone's just, like, calling him creepy, so he's probably doing something really weird, or, like, saying something weird, and Shinji's just like, who the absolute fuck is this? Like...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I feel really bad for Hikari just being like, oh, we couldn't be friends anymore.
Yeah, that's...
Like, they know what happened.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah. Poor Shinji, he's like, please go away. Please go away.
Please go. Go, please.
He's just, like, so forceful and just, like, so annoying. Like, I would, like, if it were Asuka instead of Shinji that first saw him, like, I would have hoped she would have clocked Kaoru in the face. To be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Just been like, go away. Bye. That's all I want. I just want Asuka to clock Kaoru in the mouth. Just pow. I used to really like Kaoru, and now I just really don't. Like, it pisses me off. He's just so creepy, and just so... And I mean, he really comes across that way, and I feel like really sad that most of the fandom is just like, oh my god, like, Shinji and Kaoru, like, they touched, I'm gonna, like, jack my meat, whatever, okay, I get it. But,
I mean, it's, I sort of see where that starts, but the idea is supposed to be that, like, it's really unhealthy. Like, he's showing Shinji this affection, and Shinji is doing what he's known to do and, like, push him away, but he doesn't then leave. And Shinji sort of is like, oh, this is all I ever wanted, is to reject somebody and have them come back.
Yeah, which is what makes Kaoru fucking creepy, because I feel like he knows it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Asuka is beautiful and deserves better.
Yeah.
I love Misato. I love this every time where Misato's just like, bullshit excuse. Okay, Asuka's on her period. Be nice. Like, Misato just wants so bad for those kids to be okay, and it really, like, touches my heart. And part of that is I feel like Misato, like, really knows how bad Asuka does not want that to be replaced. Okay, so, Shinji was just telling Kaoru to go away, and now he's asking for him.
Oh no, we're about to hit this scene.
Put him on a
no.
leash.
Oh no.
I love how he just walks into the bathroom with his face like, what's in here? Who's that? Okay,
what's in
that
here?
aside, Asuka was drawn so pretty. I love the hair. The hair looks so good. I love it.
I love Kaoru's face, like, in the mirror.
It's like, who the fuck are you? Oh, Lord.
Has anyone seen Elf? This is like
Yeah.
the scene from Elf.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, God, you're right.
Okay, and here Kaoru comes in with his hashtag woke, hashtag bae shit about, like, fucking moving the Ava with your heart. Like, okay, no one asked. See, but, like, that's what Ray ended up... Okay, so this is kind of similar to in the original series where Ray kind of, like, confronts Asuka in the elevator, and I really liked that scene more, to be honest, because it was so awkward, and it just, like, I think it really contrasted... Asuka and Rain showed what an uncomfortable relationship they have. I think that was done a little better, and I know this is to, like, expose Kaoru as a character or whatever, but I love it. What's a pervert? You.
No, what's a pervert?
Asshole. I think that's, like, kind of an interesting point, though. Like, I came in here because I heard you, like, I walked in here because I heard you talking. It's like he doesn't just mind his own business. He has to absorb everything and know everything. I don't know. Kind of interesting with this character. Like, who just goes like, oh, I heard someone talking, so I walked into a room. Like, I feel like most people would just be like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Like, he had to eavesdrop.
Oh, jeez. This Kaoru face is even worse. When Shinji is like, hey, stop.
I don't know. Like, I was going to say, how about the fact that Kaoru just kind of pulled a Ray?
I mean, they're supposed to be drawing connections between the two.
Well, yeah, exactly, but saying almost the same thing verbatim that Ray has said at one point.
Which one, the open your heart?
Yes.
Did she say it to Shinji? Or did she say it to Asuka?
No,
Ray said it to Asuka in the elevator, remember?
Yeah, in the elevator scene.
Oh, I'm saying, like, I don't remember. Was that scene in the manga too?
I don't think so. Not that I.
No, it wasn't. But it's calling back to the scene from the show.
Yeah.
And Asuka's reply is basically about the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I was going to say that Asuka's and Shinji's interaction here. For me, it's page 421, but I know it's not that for you, so saying that doesn't help. But the panel where, like, Shinji's grabbing Asuka's wrists and she's, like, shaking and yelling, like, there's something, like, really sweet about how candid they are, and maybe, like, no, I don't want to say comfortable, but casual. I don't know, I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Misato coming in.
What are you guys doing in the ladies' room?
Like, I
About to throw hands.
couldn't tell you if I wanted to.
We're about to fight. World Star. Sorry, I'm just on it with the Twitter memes. I'll shut the fuck up. She's fainted. Take her to the infirmary. Asuka fainted for no reason.
Plot convenience.
Oh no, I need
Leave
to
the
further the plot.
premises immediately. I love that. She's just like, go away. You
Get
freak.
the fuck out.
That's my cat, everyone. Welcome my cat to the podcast. I don't know if you could hear it.
Meow.
Yeah, not much to say here, I guess. Kaoru's in the bathroom and...
The boy.
Well, I do like the fact that Kaoru does. It's like Shinji tries to do the whole "I'm sorry" bit, and Kaoru's like, "Why are you sorry?" It's like, I'm the one who asked you to bring me here. It wasn't like you didn't do anything.
That's me, though. Like, people will try to apologize to me for shit that they didn't do, and I'll just be like, what? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm just never mad at people. I feel it, Kaoru. I love this. Conveniently, his birthday is the day of the second impact. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, because, people didn't have kids that day, for, just random reasons.
Nope. No, they didn't.
No, honey, we can't. The apocalypse is going to happen in 9 months.
Misato mommy.
Asuka wakes up and then...
It's an Angelou!
I love Ritsuko's face. Just the reaction.
The what is
Angel's
one?
Armisail? Is that whatever Angel's RL, I think. Whatever Angel's the one that's in the sky. The big lightning bolt looking one.
Oh,
Kinda
no.
looks like Zapdos from Pokemon. Doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does, actually. Now that... alright. Yeah, it actually does, actually. Huh. I never really thought
feet
about
are
that.
so huge in this drawing. Her feet are like half the size of her, like about the size of her thigh. Why is her torso as wide as her feet? This is upsetting me.
On the title page?
Yeah, on Stage
I don't know.
That's so much. That's so much.
That is... What the fuck? WTF, mate?
Cry. That's so much. Okay.
It's actually really good ref for her backpack. Like, I always wondered about if it came up off of, like, if it was fully attached the whole way.
Oh, yeah.
Back.
Whatever that thing on their back is supposed to be for. What is that supposed to be for?
Who knows?
I think Yui's had wings on it. Just,
I
don't
feel
know.
bad. I feel so bad for Shinji. Like, oh, I guess I'm sticking with you, Shinji. Ha ha. Shinji's like, please fucking kill me. I would rather jump into a vat of acid. Wait, so why does Asuka get in and not Shinji? Oh, is Unit 1 like still like locked up or something?
Yeah, they're still really freaked out about Unit 1.
Oh yeah, because it has the S2 engine now, right?
That's the S2 engine. And also I think they're still afraid that it might try to eat Shinji again.
Okay, so we have Asuka doing the whole thing with the "You're my puppet" spiel, blah blah blah.
Yes. Because that's going to end well.
Here she is, back up, goes into the fight. This is very much like the scene, blah blah blah. We have the rain.
Yep.
Yeah, so right after Asuka had the whole thing about, like, I gotta do this on my own, like, I gotta be the best, and now everyone's telling her, like, alright, you're back up. You're... just stay behind.
Well, like, this angel just wasn't fair, because Asuka's like, alright, I'm gonna do it. Like, Asuka could have very well fucking done it, but then this angel was like, nope. Like, of all things, to be the reason that I'm so fucking mad at Sadamoto for doing this to her. Of all the things that Asuka had to have happen to her to make sure she failed, it was not only an angel that she couldn't hit, it was an angel that, like, ripped open her mind, which she has tried so fucking hard to hide from people. And part of the whole thing with Asuka's trust issues and with trauma and with specifically, like, narcissistic type behavior. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and diagnose Asuka, but she acts like a narcissist sometimes, and has the easily destroyable ego of a narcissistic 14-year-old, and like that's just the worst. That's the worst, most embarrassing, humiliating, horrid thing that can happen. So it's like Sadamoto's basically like, okay, well, Ano clearly hates Asuka. I hate her even more, so let's just make this happen to her again. Like, fuck you. Like, okay, she has to be defeated in the worst way possible. Like, she couldn't, like, I'm mad. Asuka did not even have a chance to prove herself, which is, like, the most upsetting part of this. And Kaoru's like, it's getting interesting. Look at Shinji's face. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
So I'm on page 62. This is after Asuka goes up. I don't know. It's orders from on high.
I don't see that.
That's the one where Gendo's in the background,
yeah,
right?
I like that shot.
It's like, it's just, oh shit, hi Gendo.
Maybe I'm ahead or maybe I'm behind, I don't know.
Well, I was gonna ask a question.
I'm a couple pages before, chapter 60.
I have a question.
What?
So, Asuka fires off those shots.
Oh yeah, I'm still before it even shows her fighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, when we get to that point where she fires off her shots, let me know. I have a question.
I mean, it's basically all the same as the show.
Yeah, there's not much variation between this and the show.
No handle.
Yeah, lame. So, what exactly is she firing, and how does that work in the grand scheme of, going into orbit? Like,
a big gun, and because it works.
No, like, do the rounds just perpetually orbit? Are they going to re-enter and land somewhere?
I mean, I think since it's an energy, like, I guess, like, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Kamal, but if it's like just a laser, that's just like pure energy, isn't it? And so, I mean, I feel like after traveling enough and like all the atoms expend their energy and decay, like, it'll just do nothing, like, it'll just die out. Am I wrong in assuming that?
I haven't gotten to where she fires it, but, like, if it's, like, some sort of energy beam, that's just energy. It'll just travel in a straight line until it's expended all of it on the surroundings.
Yeah, but it's showing that it's curving.
In orbit? Can energy bend in orbit like that?
Yeah, with enough gravity.
Okay, well, the Earth has a lot of fucking gravity, so...
Yeah, because it looks like it's bending in orbit.
Like, usually the amount of gravity required is, like, a sun.
Oh. The Earth is not that.
Yeah, so I don't know what
I wonder if maybe it gets weaker as it goes on, I don't know. Who knows?
Or maybe it's just, yeah.
It just works. It's anime. Ew, that's weird.
What?
Okay, so huge trigger warning here, because the fandom loves to do this whole scene, like compare this scene of Asuka to being raped, which I am really not all for, but because everyone talks about that scene like that, I can't unsee it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't agree with it, I don't like it, but it's never gonna leave my mind, and this line right here is like, no, don't come inside me. I'm like,
yeah, that's...
Like, I'm barfing in my own mouth.
Like, did we have to say it like that? It's like, please don't invade my mind. Could that not have worked?
Yeah, I feel like they're intentionally trying to draw that similarity,
and
which
I
is
hate
like,
that.
yeah.
I hate it when properties try to do that, because it's just like, no.
I mean,
can we...
I don't know. It's not. I don't feel like it's the most appropriate, but at the same time, going both, like, the way that femme people experience life and experience the way, like, rape is very, like, often used as a weapon against femme people, and Asuka is this whole time, like, trying to be a woman, trying to sexualize herself, so I get it, I understand, it's better than an actual rape scene, but it's still just, like, it's still gross.
I want to know more about the other, like, inside of the memory, the you have to be better than her.
Yeah, who the fuck is that?
I think it. Yeah, the theory is that it's Mari.
Hold on, let me
no,
flip through
it would.
Don't they show her?
That can't
it's not,
be.
Yeah, it's not Mari.
That can't be Mari, because after Volume 14 ruins that theory.
Oh, the shit, right. Maybe, well...
I think it's, what's her name? Asuka's mom's ex-husband's new daughter.
Doesn't she look like Mari, though? Like, I know there was a shot of it fucking somewhere.
That was the theory for a while. Until Volume 14, that was the theory.
Wait, Asuka's mother was married? In the manga?
I think so.
No, she's a test tube baby.
I've heard some sort of explanation for who...
Like, see, now, if this was the show, that would make sense, but Asuka's a test tube baby in the manga.
Okay.
No. You're right.
Who is this, then?
What if it's Rei?
The what?
Okay, hear me out. Like, I know this is like a total crackpot theory, but if we go by the anime and Asuka's age right here, and the whole problem with a lot of characters, like a lot of women that were in love with Gendo, is that they feel like that they were replaced by Rei. So what if it's kind of like similar to Ritsuko's mom, where Ritsuko's mom, instead of, like, this is just the different ways that they cope with being replaced by Gendo.
Ooh.
And what if Asuka maybe was not made for that purpose, to be better, but became having that purpose. Especially if the theory is correct, and I mean, I don't understand that, like, this may or may not be saying that, like, Asuka is apparently, like, half related to Shinji or something, which I don't buy into that at all for any reason. But it would be really interesting if that's what Asuka became, if Asuka was okay, well, Gendo doesn't need me anymore because he has this, like, little blue-haired freak, so you have to be better than that kid, you have to pilot better than her, you have to show him, blah, blah, blah. That would be interesting. It's probably not true, but it's something I thought of that was worth sharing.
Okay, so I think I remember the sort of theory that I was referring to. I think what it was is that she was Asuka's mom was married, they couldn't conceive, and it broke it ruined their relationship, so they got a divorce, and then he married somebody else and had a child, and so she went to a fertility clinic and had Asuka.
Oh.
And sort of always resented the other woman and her child.
I mean,
what she always saw to be her rightful child.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't remember where I heard this idea that
makes sense,
with
though.
the husband, but
going back into the rape analogies.
Yeah, that's really scummy.
I'm curious about how much of this is translated, like how well that actually is translated. Like if that analogy was supposed to be there, or if that's something that the English translation chose to imply, or like what the implication is in the Japanese.
Yeah, that would make this whole thing a lot clearer. And the thing is, okay, I do appreciate the thing is that the Japanese implications might not have been culturally transferable. So that could be why they did it. The problem with Japanese is that it's a language that, like, to understand it, you have to understand a lot of the cultural implication with each word, with each, not just the word, but the characters and blah, blah, blah. So it could have just been used to signify, you know, maybe, like, not a cultural equivalent, but something that would give us the same feeling. The same kind of feeling of disgust, discomfort, that it's, like, it's really serious, and then going back into the whole, you know, rape as a weapon against, not saying that exclusively femme people get raped, but it's often used as a weapon against those kinds of people. So, I don't know, I feel like the whole, like, forcibly looking into someone's brain should not be compared to rape, because it's not the same thing. I'm going to just put it out there, like, it's not the same experience. And I feel like it was inappropriate, but it gets the point across. But I feel like it was really classless and tasteless. So, but if that's how it was in Japanese, then I can just say, well, Sadamoto, that was fucking classless, but I don't know if it was him or not. Anyway, my rant over about that.
So I'm looking at these pages where it's showing Rei firing the rifle.
Yes.
And actually, let me go back. So I have another idea of why it's curving.
Why?
So it's Misato at one point says it's a positron rifle. And
Yes.
And positrons are charged particles, so maybe it's being curved by Earth's magnetic field.
There we go. Explained. Thanks, Kamal.
And that was Evangelion Science with Kamal.
We have, like, the social discourse with Rei, the jokes with Iowa, and the science with Kamal. We got this. Okay, so Rei's firing it, blah, blah, blah. Cool shit. It deflects it. Convenient excuse to go get the Longinus. I feel bad for Asuka.
I hate to ask another odd question, but... So, I see the gravestone for Asuka's mother, and I see the date of her death, and I'm looking at the size of Asuka, and if this is implying that this is when her mother is dead, like, just right after it, doesn't Asuka seem a little bit big for her age? Or is it just me?
When were they born?
Well,
in 2000?
No, Asuka's 13 around the time that Ava happens, so it'd be like 2015.
Oh, shit.
This is her at 3 years old. No fucking way.
Consistency errors.
Like, that's a bit much. Like, I know, it's Ava.
That is a bit much for the Ava. A bit.
Yeah, that's a bit much to have to like a bit of a pill to swallow there. It's like, that is not a 3-year-old, unless that is an extremely large 3-year-old.
Extremely large 3-year-old. I think that Asuka being 3 makes this whole, like, the whole thing with Asuka's mom even more interesting then, because maybe Asuka could never differentiate what was real or what was, like, just her memories as a child. Like, her... Because, you know, the younger you are, the harder the younger your... How do I say this? Your memories get worse and worse and worse as they go back in time. So...
Oh, yeah, mine are absolute shit.
Well, what I mean is like, it's easier to remember something from when you were, like, 15 than it is when you were 3. So...
Mm-hmm. Is Asuka confusing, like, her memories... then?
I wouldn't think so, but I think it would make it interesting, the dramatization. I don't want to say Asuka's memories were dramatic or invalid, but I think the way that the feelings are more dramatized, maybe there is, like, not a whole truth to what Asuka remembers, which would make the whole thing significantly more interesting, but Asuka looks at least, like, 10 here.
Yeah, because, like, in the next page where it's the side shot of her and the woman, like, look at where Asuka's head is in relation to this woman.
That's a big 3-year-old.
She's at least, like, 3.5, 4 feet tall.
Yes!
The other thing is that, well, the manga and anime are pretty bad at establishing age through like through physiology.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So
The
it
only
could
thing
just
I
be
could think
that.
of is just Asuka is perceiving herself differently in her memories than how she actually was.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh my god.
Like,
because
she would
Asuka
have been...
always sees herself as an adult, so she probably sees herself as, like, a bigger girl because, oh my god.
Bam. There you go.
Holy shit.
So I looked a couple pages ahead, and that this is where they talk about who the other girl was.
Ew, that's gross. A heart isn't filled as easily as the womb. That's kind of extra there. Like, that was the most. Oh yeah, she wanted a kid more than anything, but she couldn't become
you're
pregnant.
right.
The husband eventually had an affair and it ended in divorce. He married another woman and had a child with her. Yeah, so come on, you're probably right on there where it's like she wants Asuka to be better than.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. My theory was cool, but it's wrong. Hashtag dramatique.
Oh, and then that's Mama's baby, so who am I?
Oh, that look in Kyoko's eyes on that one page is just terrifying. Oh my god. Oof.
Why does Sadamoto love to draw kids getting strangled?
I don't understand this. This is like the strangle volume, apparently.
That's just so horrifying.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, Asuka's begging, like, don't leave me, like, blah, blah, blah. And that enough of itself is, like, really fucked up and, like, really hurts and, like, oh. And then he has to go out of the way to draw Asuka's mom, like, trying to kill her.
And then Asuka's mom killing herself.
Yep.
And the doll, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she's crying for Kaji, like...
I mean, because Kaji's, like, the person she seeks validation from. Okay. Gonna go into a little bit of discourse about mental illness here. So, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and diagnose characters. However, the kind of things that are very common with abandonment issues is finding, like, a few people that you look up to and that you want attention from and that you want validation from all the time, and you always do things to seek their approval. And this is just very indicative of really, really how mentally ill and how not okay Asuka is. Because of the way she seeks validation from other people. And it's not just like, I mean, everyone seeks validation from other people, but the way that Asuka obsesses on her image and her relationship with those people, it's just really sad because she's hurting and she's a kid and she's 14 and she's doing these things and, like, no one can help her. No one knows how to help her, and no one is helping her. That's the thing that I think Misato failed the most, is Misato could not actually get help for Shinji and Asuka that they needed. Anyway, it's just really sad because, like, as a mentally ill person, knowing the feelings that Asuka's having, it just really, I don't know, I feel like it really, really hits me really close in ways that I can't properly describe. Because it's just for me, it's such a highly intense, emotional, this is so emotionally relatable, I guess, to me and my experiences growing up as a mentally ill kid.
I think that's why, like, we talk about this show and these books, is because of how relatable a lot of the very heavy stuff is.
Mm-hmm. Well, and for me, like, that's why I always go out of my way to defend Asuka, is because people love to shit on Asuka, but Asuka is the example. Like, if you're gonna care about the kids in Eva because they're mentally ill, care about all of them, no matter how ugly they act. And that's the thing, like, people want to pretend, like, that there's acceptable and unacceptable mentally ill people. No, all mentally ill people are acceptable, even when they act mentally ill, even when they do ugly things. And Asuka does some very easily identifiably ugly things. She does some things that are not acceptable. And people love to sit here and be like, oh, well, she shouldn't do that, like, she should blah, blah, blah. She's a traumatized kid. Isn't she, like, 13, 14?
13.
She never got help. That is my thing with her. She never got help. But Asuka was basically left to deal with this on her own. You can't deal with that as a kid. You can't. Not on your own. You need help. And it's just, I don't know. I will always be there, jump and defend. Like, give me a good reason to not defend Asuka or that Asuka did something wrong. I'll listen, but I'm gonna tell you you're wrong, you're stupid, and that she didn't do anything wrong. Basically, I'm an Asuka apologist. So, anyway. I'm getting into the real heavy shit today. So, what's up, everyone? So yeah, Asuka falls apart, and then there's Rei on the title page with the lance. Hey everyone, did I drop?
No,
No.
it's not dead.
Okay,
We're just trying to find something to talk about.
Yeah, how do you transition from that? Like, I went off. I'm really sorry.
Gendo's a dick!
Yeah, true. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here's Kaoru being, like, really disgusting. Oh my god, you'll end up just like her. That's so gross.
Shut up, I'm trying to be a hero.
Yeah, it's so interesting how, like, in the manga especially, like, Shinji really does have, like, this hero complex. And I find, okay, so people want to go talk about how Shinji's, like, the atypical protagonist, but as I've watched more 80s and 90s anime, like, that's such a big thing that especially male protagonists or masculine protagonists do, is they always have to be the fucking hero. And I love how Shinji being the hero going is like, well, you be the hero, but you also kind of, like, fuck everything up, my dude. I find that really interesting. Mm-hmm. And specifically relating to the whole idea, like, really toxic masculinity, where it's like, well, I have to go, like, save everyone, and blah, 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 and it's like, Shinji's not... I don't know, watching the ways that Shinji internalizes and expresses toxic masculinity is really interesting, because Shinji's not necessarily very masculine. So, it's very creative.
Have you ever wondered that because of the time gap between the original show and the manga, that perhaps ideas that had creeped into the anime landscape, like, creep their way into this as well?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, I mean, there's definite changes to the ways that the characters just are. And I think the problem with this is, like you said, this was done in 2004. A lot of those archetypes that were a result of 80s anime were obsolete, mostly because of, like, Eva, but because it had been 14 or so years.
Yeah.
Since a lot of this was popularized, those aren't the tropes that people sought in the early 2000s anymore. No one really wanted that. No one found that interesting. No one really looked to that for entertainment anymore. So, it wasn't relevant. But it's interesting to watch how those themes are explored. Those themes from the 80s, how they're explored in the context of a 2004 manga. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Exactly.
I like it. It's interesting watching the time periods overlap. So here's Gendo.
Gendo's a cunt. Like...
Yeah.
Like, it really took you this long to figure out to do this? Really?
He just likes to watch people suffer because he just doesn't care.
Fuck him.
Well, I mean, he also wants an excuse to pull out the Longinus, and Gendo is very...
Then if he wants...
Gendo is very much like, well,
nope,
I don't care what I have to sacrifice to do what I want. I mean, he sacrifices everything. He sacrifices his relationship with his son. He's sacrificing Asuka. It's not his fault. He sacrificed his wife, but he basically did. So...
Yeah, well, I mean, if he wants to get rid of the goddamn lance so badly and he sees his opportunity, you'd think he'd do it a little faster.
Because he's got to have a convenient excuse. That's the thing. He's got to get away with it with Zele. And Asuka's a very convenient excuse. Asuka was never really a part of the plan for Gendo. She's useless to him, which is why he's okay just letting this happen to her. And Asuka I feel like Asuka really picks up on that too, which is probably also why she's so hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. I really like how they drew Lilith. I don't know. It looks cool, I guess. Cool shit.
Feet.
Cool drawings. Little legs! Asuka's dying, and I feel really bad for her.
That's...
Oh, look at, here we go. Do they truly dare use it without orders? Karu's kinda...
Yeah, I actually do kind of like the addition of him like in his like inner monologue to all this.
Yeah.
It's showing how much he does know. Like,
yeah, he knows, and it's adding like it's
adding a lot of
unintentionally
depth.
adding Sele.
No, I mean I mean I'm sure all of this is like really really intentional, and the whole manga is the reason that I'm like convinced like okay, Kaoru was an asshole and he was manipulating on purpose. Like he's not stupid. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows what Shinji's like. He knows like he's a spy. So
Yeah, he is, and also Sadamoto, you've done a really good job with the manga, but I'd like to give you a small pointer. If you're gonna indicate that something is moving to a lunar orbit, because didn't it get stuck in the moon when they did this in the show?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it said right here, like, it reached escape velocity and is moving to a lunar orbit.
It looks like it's just floating there, though.
I think that might
in
just
the anime it was like rotating, and I think that's just a failure of not maybe not a failure, but a drawback of purely visual mediums is that you can't demonstrate how it's moving. I mean, he could have showed a different angle, but
yeah, I think if he showed it a different angle, it would have worked better because it's just looking like Ray just threw it straight in the air.
Whoop.
I don't know. I kind of thought of that panel as like an aside, like it's just sort of a display picture, like not necessarily indicative of how it actually looks at that point in time.
No, I agree.
Go
ahead.
I have another dumb question. So, would the angel have kept the same exact spot above the same exact spot on Earth if they had just like waited and not done anything?
Maybe.
Like, because if it
fine.
stayed in place and the Earth kept rotating...
Oh, it could have a geosynchronous orbit.
Yeah, I was going to say, because if it just decided to, like, stay in spot and the Earth moved, and so it was like... So if they got underneath it, wouldn't it have made more sense to fire it then?
No, I think the implication is that it was geosynchronous. Like,
okay.
It stayed in the same spot relative to the Earth.
I just want to mention that on the side views, the noses keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's so ugly.
Jay Leno, get out of my goddamn manga!
Okay, I really love the shot of the hallway, the action lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, I just really like the hallway because I have this thing with, like, I don't like hospital hallways in real life, but hospital hallways in, like, laboratories in, like, anime always look really cool, and this just kind of looks kind of like the Nautilus from Nadia, so, I don't know.
The Nautilus?
Okay, listen. It's my accent. I can't help it, okay?
I'm glad you thought of the same thing, though, because that's what I thought of. It's like,
Boy,
oh, hey, shit, that's the corridor for the Nautilus, bitchin'.
But this is the thing with us, because we've seen Nadia, and we know that Sadamoto designed all the shit, and our brains are just, like, so Nadia. Like, we just can't unsee it. We can't do it. Like, we're just, like, we're balls deep in the whole, like,
Can't
Ava
stop,
is
won't
Nadia
stop.
theory. Yeah, no, I won't stop, because Nadia is really good, so it's fine. I love it. Just replace Shinji with Nadia, to be honest.
If we did that, it'd be a better show, because Nadia's awesome. I got jokes for
Wrecked.
Team Rectum.
Okay, we're probably gonna need to cut this out, so sorry, Gainer. But, like, I just need to say that, like, I feel like Nadia and Asuka would not be friends, but I feel like Nadia and Rei could be friends, because Nadia's kind of like that in-between of Asuka and Rei. She's got, like, the sensitivity and, like, consideration that Rei has, but, like, that feisty attitude that Asuka has. I don't know. Like, she could either, like, get along with none of them or get along with both. It would be really interesting. Like, wow, healthy friendships in Ava, if only Shinji was replaced with Nadia. Rant over.
Greatest show ever.
Greatest ever! Okay. So back to the manga.
Oh no, Asuka's in a hospital. I know where this ends. I've seen this before.
I've seen it in
No,
Ava.
don't worry, it's
I
different.
know where this is. No, we know it's different. We're
I've
making
seen enough
jokes.
of this to know where it goes.
We're making jokes, trademark jokes.
Ava jokes, because we're not terrible enough people yet.
Thank goodness you're conscious.
Don't.
This is just so sad. But at the same time, now Asuka doesn't have to, like, suffer anymore, right? guys.
If you think so.
Cough!
Yeah, no, that was the joke. I love
Yeah.
to die.
Oh!
Okay, Zayle's mad, blah blah blah, no one cares.
Hey,
Are you in 62 now?
I don't
Yeah, I have a question. When Gendo's leaving, after the monolith says, if you proceed any further at your own discretion, you will no longer have a seat there, what the hell does he say? Because, like, what I'm looking at, I don't have any text.
Wait, what?
Wait, why did
Yeah,
you use it? The Ava series has not yet reached scheduled number.
No, not that.
Okay, wait. Can you describe the panels? Because all of mine have, like, words in them, so...
Oh, with Gendo? Yeah.
He's looking over his shoulder back at the monoliths before he walks through the door.
It says ... I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's just blank. It's just like...
I've got a blank one, too.
I love this. So... for those that follow my Twitter know that I've been really into Ikari lately, understatement, of the century. And something that I've really started paying attention to after looking at Mr. Otomo's works is I brought up this word earlier, but cinematography of the drawings. And I love this shot. The whole thing about, like, you know, turning your shoulder and not looking back, and, like, you know, you continue to carry your plan at your own discretion, next time you'll have no seat among us. He looks at them and walks away. He walks out. He is no longer taking their own direction. He's going through an open door. He's seeing his life right now as an open door to do what the fuck he wants. And I just really love this shot, because it's just so representative of him and his attitude and what he's looking toward. I got really saliva-y. Anyway, it looks cool. And then we have Kaoru sitting in a chair, being a little bitch.
Well, he is a little bitch.
True. I love it. It would have been awkward. Like, now I'm accepted to nerve. Like, but I think really he just wants to fuck everything up.
Well, I mean, he does have a point. It would have been extremely odd if he's just like, he randomly shows up and he's like, hey, you shouldn't use the lance on that. It'd be a bad idea. Everybody will kind of look at him and go like,
how do you know about it? Why do you know it's a bad idea?
How do you know what, like, wait, hold on. Stop. Go backwards. Start explaining yourself right now. Also,
I also love
Ikari
this implication that Kaoru may or may not be having with Zele, saying, like, this is why I'm watching humans. Humans are interesting. And they don't really even, like, comment. Like, Zele, like, I feel like Zele, like, doesn't consider themselves human.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no.
I don't
They're
know.
not.
You guys are agreeing with me, like, this isn't, like, surprising, but it's just it's interesting to really solidify that in the way that Kaoru talks to them about people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they say humans will be freed from those onerous troubles, like, the implication there being that humans are something that they are not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, in End of Ava, when Keel gets turned into Tang, he is, like...
all robot.
Yeah, he is pretty much a fucking robot. I mean, fuck knows what the other 11 are. Also, I like how it's like, if Ikari shows even the slightest subversive behavior, oh my god, he's a communist!
Oh no. I didn't know young Freud was in this series. Ha!
Yep. Totally!
Oh my god, just honestly, replace Shinji with young Freud. Actually, that would be bad. Don't do that. Don't do that to Asuka. Never mind. I retract that statement. I fucked up.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but, like,
don't do
we get back to Shinji and Asuka in the hospital, and, like, the first time I read this page, like, I was like,
we're all just waiting for it to happen.
I'm
so glad it
am.
didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, the first time I saw this page, I was like, oh no, not this shit again.
Well, I'm just glad Shinji doesn't decide to, like, jack off on his friend. Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
There's better ways to show that Shinji is depraved than, like, jerking off.
They do a pretty good job in the manga. Like, I think it actually is done better. It's more thorough.
Excuse me.
Yeah, is that, like, the lowest point of the entire Ava franchise, is that scene from End of Ava?
Oh, yeah. It was,
yeah.
It was, like I said, the word earlier, it was just tasteless.
It was as much an attack on the audience as it was within the the movie.
It was just, I don't know, it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Like, I know the whole thing is, like, Anna wants to be like, haha, fuck you, like, I'm so deep, like, blah, 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 but, like, no. You didn't, don't do that to Asuka. Like, Asuka has had enough nasty shit happen to her.
It was supposed to be disrespectful to the whole thing, because the idea was that, like, I had a complete thing, and now you guys wanted more, and I didn't want to make more, but here we are, so...
Shinji could
have just jerked off. Like, he didn't have to jerk off over Asuka. Maybe he could have, like, been watching her on a screen, or, like, thinking about Asuka, or, like, he didn't have to jack off, like, on Asuka. And the whole thing is, like, you want to sit there and be like, oh, well, my fans suck, and, like, they're shit because they do this and this, and then you literally show, like, him, like, with nut all over his hand, like, and Asuka's, like, chest in the background. You can't fucking sit there and be like, I'm deep and I'm better than my fans, but then make one of the most iconically disgusting shots. Like, you get my point.
You can't feed the stupidity.
No, and you can't pretend that you're being, like, sarcastic and ironic, because here's the thing, when you don't have the ability to contextualize your irony, it's not ironic anymore.
Yeah, you kind of lose something you lose something big.
So,
and again, the manga improved on it.
Yes, thank Christ.
The manga basically does everything better, except that it doesn't have Mr. Sagisu's music. The only thing it's missing.
Well,
but I could play it. Yeah,
you just play it as you're reading it. I'm sure you did.
Yeah, or I was listening to Vaporwave.
Or that.
Okay. Kaoru makes a weird comment. I thought you'd be a somewhat heftier girl. She's just like, Ray's just like, okay. They're like, what? Okay.
I'm looking at, he says tougher looking girl.
Yeah, I think we have different translations.
I actually like the idea of him saying, I thought you'd be a tougher looking girl. I actually like that idea more.
Yeah, because like the whole thing with Ray being like soft and stuff, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this. I love this. We might be very similar, but we're not the same. Yes, Ray establishing an identity. Woohoo! Okay, Kaoru's in the plug. It's got like that famous shot that everyone nuts their pants over.
What, the 3?
Mm-hmm.
Do they really?
I don't know. I nut myself over it because I'm like, that looks so good, but...
Oh, okay.
Like, everyone like on Tumblr and Twitter likes to post it. That's what I'm saying. It's supposed to be a dry run, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
And then Shinji's in a shower.
Did you get my reaction to this on recording when I, like, scrolled through it and, like, totally forgot? That was fun.
Yes.
That was funny.
That was.
Okay. Well, in case it doesn't make it in, basically, I, like, just was like, I don't remember this really loudly out of nowhere.
Yeah, I cannot believe you don't remember this happening.
I think I was, like, was this the first volume that I bought? No. Okay, I probably, like, just kind of ran through it, like, a little quickly. Honestly. Because I really wanted to get to, like, volumes 10 through 12. So, anyway, this is weird, and Kaoru's weird. That's just the most. Like, that's the thing about Kaoru. He's so extra. There's no reason for him to be this much.
Yeah.
Soap. It's too small. I can't use it. Okay.
Well then, so I might be a couple pages ahead, but he talks about what I talked about before, like, you take a stranger's like to anyone drawing within a certain distance, yet on the other hand you clutch and grasp at other people. And, I mean, he's saying it in a physical sense, but it's interpretable in a interpersonal sense.
That's so weird. He's so weird. He's like, oh, Shinji won't touch me for some reason. I wonder what I'm doing. Let me go in the fucking shower with him where he wants to be alone and walk right next to him, practically touch dicks with him. No homo, dude. Hey, dude, since you won't hold my hand, let's hold dicks. Like, I hate him. He's so much. He needs to die. I know he will. Don't worry. Anyway, it is, like, an interesting thing. But, also, because Kaoru's just fucking weird.
Well, yeah.
What else?
The escalator. I love that. I love that escalator.
You mean the fucking
The huge one.
the goddamn escalator that goes on forever and ever?
And ever.
Did we really need a shot of Shinji and Kaoru looking at each other from the waist up? That's
so not necessary.
None of this is necessary.
Where do their hips go?
I hate to say
where
it,
did their waist go?
Reminds me of the one from The Simpsons.
Their dicks are probably touching a little. That's so close.
They're docking.
I don't know. If I was in the shower, inches, my dick would definitely be touching the other person, and I'd be like, you need to get out of here. I'm not ready for this kind of commitment, dude. I know it's not gay until the balls touch, but bro. I'm sorry. So much.
Is that I may be skipping ahead, but is that Misato's car that they're in?
I think so.
Excuse me.
It's race car looking.
Dude, that's yeah, she's got fucking race seatbelts, racing seats.
Basically, Misato's a fucking badass.
She really is. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a fucking roll cage in there too.
To be honest, Misato is not to be oh my god, waifu, but Misato is really wifeable. I would let her beat me up and step on my face and drink beer while she does it. Honestly, she's so Misato's
I'll give her
so
enough
good.
beer and she might do it unintentionally.
True. She's so good. Protect Misato. Not that Misato needs protected. She needs to probably protect everyone else, but still protect Misato. Okay. This is really cute. Shinji thinking of holding Rei's hand, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Chapter 63. Okay.
I think 63 is the beginning of Volume 10.
Hold on.
I don't know, not in my book.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's the last. 63. I think that's
one more.
Yeah, this is going to be the last chapter for
tonight.
This volume.
Okay, I was gonna say it ends on a cliffhanger with that angel.
Yes. There's a tacky cliffhanger. Okay.
So yeah, last angel.
Blah blah blah. They have to go fight it. There's Kaoru fighting it, which was an interesting change in my opinion.
Well, I mean, since they introduced him so early, he's got more of a, direct. What's the word I'm looking for? Impact on the plot.
Yeah,
and I think they did that intentionally. Okay, we did not give him enough lead up.
Oh shit!
In the show.
I think it cycling between orange and blue is interesting because isn't the orange the color of LCL? That makes up all people. So
yeah,
the angels are becoming more and more like people. Anyway, it's interesting. Okay, so Rei's sitting there. It attacks her. Really nice detailed drawings. Kaoru does not look okay with this. He dances in the air. Look at that. That's so funny. That's so
He dances on it and fucking does a backflip.
Look at his face. That face is so interesting because this whole time, the face that he's making where he's kind of clenching his jaw a little bit and he's got the action lines. That's so interesting because he's been this whole time shown as being cool and neat. But also, if Kaoru's another angel, how do you think that feels to be fighting one of him?
Probably not very good. Probably
Yeah.
the same reaction that Maya has when Nerve gets invaded by the these self-defense force in End of Eva.
The dialogue is really interesting. I'm sorry, but I'm going to win this one. The plan is against you. And I like how the angel just basically goes, bitch, you thought, and goes after it.
I just love that double chainsaw. So good. Yeah, why did we not get more of that? Seriously, I don't need rifles. I don't need knives. I don't need, chain guns. Give me the fucking dual chainsaw. Let's doom this bitch up.
What would happen if Kaoru took in the angel instead?
Ooh.
Sorry, I just, I know that's, a comment that's out there, but basically there's not a lot to say about the scene, in my opinion, because it's basically the same as the anime, and, nothing really, interesting or deep is happening yet, but Kaoru being like, oh, it's an encroachment type, like, it's really weird how, like, just in that moment he was talking to it with familiarity, and now he's othering himself from it?
Yeah.
Really interesting. Anyway. Watching him think about things, like, in a sense of a battle is, like, really also kind of interesting. Anyway, but yeah, I wonder what would happen if the angel invaded Kaoru and not Rei. Like, what would that do? Like, would Kaoru die? Would they fuse? What exactly would happen?
I don't know if maybe I wonder if maybe nothing would happen.
Because Kaoru is...
Well, Kaoru has his own
the same.
sentience and his own soul.
True.
So I don't know, just an interesting thought, I guess. Anyway, that's basically the end of that volume.
Yeah,
Yep.
it sort of ends with Rei freaking out.
Yeah, we get a real cliffhanger.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we didn't really have as much to say. See, we went on for like an hour and a half, and I feel like we didn't have as like much to say, but apparently we did.
We did.
I don't know. Cool shit.
Yeah, everything's falling apart.
Yay! So I finally read Volume 13 and Volume 14 in March when I was on Skype with Iowa. Maybe we should, before we get into that, we should like actually end this. And then
yeah, we're not going to do that early.
So yeah,
we're not going to do that to Gaynor. So
that's
anyway,
Volume 9, folks.
Maybe we never even like said who all was here in the beginning. We didn't do that.
Oh yeah. So by the way, hi, I'm Iowa.
I'm Rei.
Well, we kind of did halfway through. But yeah, hi, I'm Iowa.
I am Rei.
That's Kamal.
I'm Kamal.
Oh my god, okay, what order are we going in so I stop interrupting, because there's a silence.
And that's
every
order.
order.
Yeah, there you go. So, we have an Iowa, we have a Kamal, and we have a Rei.
It's me.
Yay!
I'm Rei. I change my name like every episode, it's fine. You probably all recognize my obnoxious voice by now, so it's fine.
Next episode, it'll be wacko.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time.